Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast, the recap of stage 13 of the Giro d'Italia from Alessandria to Verbania, 189 kilometers long. We have, once again, a very flat break formation, 160 Ks of flat, like 3 uncategorized hills in the first 30 Ks, and then 2 climbs, a warm-up, nice little 5-minute warm-up, 2.4 Ks, 6%, short descent, and then the Unjaska climb, 4.7 Ks, 7%. The last 2 Ks, average 10%, quite steep, little plateau on top, then a quick descent, good tarmac, I saw, but a lot of road furniture in the run-in to Verbania, where it finishes on the lake, the shores of Lake Maggiore. Beautiful stage to watch, and this episode is brought to you by NordVPN, and I thought the break would win today, Benji. I thought it'd be a break of 30.
Yeah.
Because, I think there was one team that wanted to control, that was NSN. They thought about a theoretical Corbin Strong sprint.
Yeah, I think so as well. And that was kind of the thought process we had yesterday, that there's maybe one and a half teams that sees a possibility for a peloton result for their rider, and even with NSN, to be honest, I don't really see it. Like, Strong's a good rider, but there's absolutely no certainty that if the peloton goes to that final climb, that Strong wins the race. If anything, could be a puncher, a GC rider, could be a versatile sprinter, could be anything depending on how those last 2 climbs are done. So I think they should have gone all out for breakaways, especially with riders like Pinarello and so forth, but the rest of the peloton was into breakaway formation action, it's fair to say, although I wasn't completely sure about Ineos. Is that fair to say? Because Jonathan Milan actively started to jump into breakaways at the start for a little track, for green jersey points, I assume. But Ineos first seemed like they were closing moves, and then later switched to joining chasing groups, no?
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I thought they have to go on the break, right? I mean, where's Egan Bernal on GC?
Narnia.
He's in the worst place. He's on 5 minutes 45. He's still called Egan Bernal. He might.
It's too close, actually.
He's too close, but he's also too far away. Like, I understand Matisse Rondel wanting to go for a top 10. It makes total sense. Egan Bernal's won this race. He's won the Giro. Like, go in the break, get out of GC, right?
Yep.
Like, couldn't he win this stage?
I'm not sure about this specific stage, but there's other opportunities in this Giro that maybe could have gone his way or could have been optional. Then again, his climbing in this race, to be honest, has not been glorious enough to be competing in the mountain breakaways.
5K, 7%, I think he can still fry some of these guys.
Yeah, fair.
And
anyway,
you know who's not going to win from this break?
Tell me.
Filippo Ganna.
I'm not sure I agree with you there, but I'll get into that later during the breakaway, if that's okay. Because we'll talk about Ganna in a second here. Like, the first part of the actual eventual breakaway formed, I think, like 20 kilometers into the race, with riders like Mark Donovan, Leknesund Warbaz, Vicente Rojas from Bardiani, I think it's Chilean champion, Johan Jacobs and Valgren. So those are the first 6-ish riders that have a gap. And that's when we see Ineos, in my opinion, switch from closing moves to trying to jump into a chasing group. And I think it's Ganna and Turner both in a secondary chasing group. Turner was riding for Ganna to go in the breakaway, right? Or were they both trying?
Turner was trying to launch Ganna into the break. He did a lead out for Ganna, yeah. Which, if I was Turner, I'd never have done, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
especially the context of week 1.
In the context of the help he's got from Ganna, absolutely not.
Because even like yesterday, Ganna rode a fantastic TT, but the way Ganna dropped at the same time as the pure sprinters on the climb yesterday, that is definitely below his capabilities on a climb like that, and he can help a rider like Ben Turner more.
Or win himself.
A Segard style. He literally won Dwars of Vlaanderen that way.
He nearly won a Tirreno stage that way this year.
I don't know. I said it the day he won the time trial. There's something with Ganna where he should be able to win more races, road races, than he does. And I don't know what the actual reason is behind the scenes, but it's a shame to see.
But the reason... No, I'll tell you the reason.
Okay.
He's not a hungry dog.
He doesn't have the hungry dog in him, is what you're saying.
I think he won the TTs, I'm good.
Okay. Job done, I guess. But...
And listen, he is a lock to win if you schedule him like he's won 40 races. He's won 3 World Tour races, including a classic this year. Like, he's still a very, very good rider, but like with his power profile, he could win a lot more.
For sure. Now, Turner is also rumored to leave Ineos at the end of the season. It's also possible that that's impacting the decision-making of the team in terms of the way that he has to work for others while getting limited support from others for him. Anyway, I won't delve into that pot of beasts, but there's a second chasing group now. Gunnar and Turner are not in the eventual second chasing group. So like I said before, Donovan Leknesund, Warbaz, Rojas, Jacobs, and Valgren are the first group. Second group is created with Jasper Stuyven, Bettiol, Bussato, Bjerg, and Maestri. And then there's also a third chasing group with Toon Aerts, Hulgaard, Josh Kench, and Hun. So at this point, we have a 15-man breakaway. This comes together, which means we've got 3 riders from Groupama, Kench, Huns, and Jacobs, and 2 riders from Polti, 2 riders from UNOX. All the rest of that breakaway, like Bettiol and so forth, are individual riders. I think that's an important aspect here because I want to bring it back to your Ghana conversation from earlier. We've got this breakaway now. Gap goes out to 10-11 minutes, Patrick. There's no danger from behind. The teams with multiple riders are seemingly trying to keep it together until the climb, including Groupama. I was still surprised that I didn't see a single Fuga Fuga try.
Because Bjerg, that's the only way he can win. And for even like a Stuyven, to be honest. And
I agree.
I understand. I mean, UNOX, like I had Leknesund as maybe the favorite from that group. So UNOX, they got Hulgaard there. He's going to lock it down. FDJ, they've obviously had a shocking Giro. They just want a top 5 and some UCI points out of Kench. So they're just going to pull with Jacobs.
I agree with the take on respectability, as in they want to be seen actually doing something in this Giro for the first time. I refuse to believe that it's for top 5 UCI points. And
you better believe.
I don't actually think that team would have achieved much through Fuga de la Fuga, so attacking before we get to the hills. Because if you attack with Huns and Jacobs, they're most likely going to have a rider with them that's better than them and eventually drops them on the final climb anyway. But I do have an issue on how they approach the last 2 climbs, but we'll get to that because the first climb is the easy one, the second climb is the harder one. But Patrick, what if hypothetically I go to Italy and want to watch the Giro d'Italia, but I can't because I've got my UK service?
Or maybe you want different comms, or maybe comms gets shut off for a little bit that you like. And that's where you need NordVPN. So you think going to races, it sounds glamorous. You're sitting there in the hotel room, and then you realize, and as I did actually in London, I used NordVPN when I was in London because I was like, I need to watch the race with the subscription service I pay for, and I want the same commentary as normal. And that's when I flicked it on, and I was able to do so through NordVPN. We'll be at Rome for the finish, Paris most likely for the Tour finish, and that's where NordVPN comes in handy. And on top of that, when you're on hotel Wi-Fi, airport Wi-Fi, or some random cafe network uploading videos or checking emails, your connection is encrypted and secure. One account also covers up to 10 devices, so you can use it across your phone, laptop, and everything else. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 extra months on the 2-year plan, go to nordvpn.com/LRCP and make sure you can stay up to date with every single cycling race possible in the world and watch them at all times, any place. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money day get back guarantee, and using that link helps support the podcast. So the breaks formed. I like Josh Kench for a sneaky top 5. He's a Kiwi who did well on Groupama. He's like just got signed by Groupama. We've already spoken about him, I think. He made the peloton on stages 2, 4, and 5 this week so far. But Leknesund I really liked for the reason that he attacked behind Vingegaard and Pellizzari and Van Aertveld all the way back on stage 2, which was a steep 6-minute climb. He attacked on the descent. The problem is he can't descend, but it showed that he has good legs for that sort of stage finish. Bettiol, you never have any idea what he's going to do. Yeah. Valgren, I thought, would like... Yeah, I think guys like Valgren and Stuyven is who you're referring to, Benji, or even Bjerg. Like, They got pretty decent Palmares. They've won, Stone's won a monument. They can't actually think to just not doing anything and following is how they're going to win the stage.
Stuyven, I agree. Vulcan, I lean towards maybe he's punchy enough.
True, he climbs properly well.
Yeah, he's on paper a better climber than Stuyven. So that's where I was like, I'm okay with him waiting for the final hill or something and try to play defensively and see whether he can win that way. Spoilers, didn't work out. But I didn't like the way FDG approached this, though, because they're basically... Everybody goes over the first of the two climbs together. There's a bit of a move over the top, I think, by a Polti rider, but it all comes back together. That Polti rider, I think, takes the KOM points on that climb, maybe Diego Pablo Sevilla. But we head towards the second climb. Jacobs is now keeping the group together. We've got Axel Huns in second wheel and then Josh Kench. So we've got a three-man train for Groupama FDG leading out towards that final climb. And to be honest, Axel Huns is at the front already the second that last climb starts, which means that there's a Red Bull kilometer about... not just at the start, but a bit after the start of that climb. But this climb is such a fake news climb, Patrick, because there's the last 2 kilometers that go up to 10%, where Axel Huns' lead out made it so that Josh Kench, because let's be honest, once Axel Huns' turn is done, Josh Kench is in second position to attack. We know that. But Axel Huns goes out the front after, well, basically at the start of the steep section, which means that good luck trying to drop everybody with 1.8 kilometers of steep climbing to go towards the top. So it just felt all too early, and in doing so, overextending. So just to sketch it out one by one here, Patrick, Huns starts leading out Josh Kench. Half the group is dropping at this point with 2.5 kilometers to go to the top. 2.5, Patrick, is when Kench attacks. That's too early. You're begging for a counterattack.
I've hyped him up too much. He started to believe in himself too much. I like Josh Kench. Josh Kench shouldn't be attacking 2.5 Ks to go. No. And the Fox Bettiol, I want to remind everybody, hold on, have you got pink tape around the window?
I don't. It's a Philips Hue thing. What's it called? RGB? RGB?
RPG.
Lighting.
You have a rocket propelled grenade in your room.
Yes, correct. Pink one as well.
No, but wait, around the border of the window. That's
RGB. That's the word I was looking for.
That's a light?
There's a light. Wait. So I'm going to move right now to try and explain it so that the listeners can actually see it. Right there is a tower from Hogwarts, and there's a purple light on it, or a pink one, because there's a Giro.
I understand now. Okay.
We were talking about something else.
I want to remind you of a certain stage in the Tour de France 4 years ago.
What does that have to do with the light on my window?
Doesn't. I was just trying to get like the MI5 to visit you. And the Mont finish, Alberto Bettiol attacks on a 2K 11% climb too early. He drops Michael Matthews, and Michael Matthews comes back from the dead, reels him back in on Monte Jalabert, and beats Bettiol with a late surge at the end.
Goated stage.
Unbelievably good stage and break fight. You rarely ever see that. And Bettiol kind of used that tactic today.
Was that the same climb where maybe a few editions earlier we had Stephen Cummings attack Bardin Pinot or something in the breakaway? Or am I imagining that?
Could be.
Anyway, that to decide. Kench goes way too early here, and he does it twice, because once he has his first attack, he's got 3 people in the wheel. Bettiol, like you said, Leknesund, your man for the stage, and also on my list I've got Bettiol, Leknesund, and Bettiol. It's Valger in the second, the third rider in that group. So there's 4 riders off the front now. We've got maybe Mark Donovan passing the dropped riders, getting closer, but then Josh Kench pushes again with about 1.8-ish kilometers from the top, and at this point you can feel it coming, because the people in his wheel are not actually suffering that hard following the moves of Kench. And that's when... Is it Leknesund that counters?
Yeah, Leknesund went, Bettiol let him dangle, and then right at the top of the climb, Bettiol sprints to the top, catches Leknesund by surprise. And also, you got to remember the Bettiol, I don't know if he's from this area, he's a better descender than Leknesund. And he's going to know the roads, I assume, better. Yep. So he's it looks like his partner was at the finish line, but then I think she works at RCS. So I was like, because when I saw that, I was like, oh, did he know he was going to win the stage or had a big chance and he's reconned it? But I think she actually just works for RCS. But
Mauro Veni.
Dude, imagine going on a date with Mauro. I'd go on a date with Zomenia. What was his name? Zomenian?
Zomenian.
Yeah. You get 3 people that is he alive?
What is he alive? Of course he's alive.
Well, not of course. I mean,
at the end of the day, Mauro Veni turns to you and says, Patrick, I've got an offer you can't refuse.
Well, to do what?
Remember that he was, we memed him as the Godfather back in the day?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, my first thing I'm going to do is move the Giro to September. And like, you're fired. So,
well, there's drama about that. No, next year?
There is some drama. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, Bettiol goes past him. And I was like, if he has a 3-second gap on Leknesund, this is over. Because Leknesund, as I said, really struggles downhill. Very strong guy, but he got caught by surprise. Bettiol goes clear. Bettiol wins the stage just like he drew it up. To be honest, actual masterclass from Bettiol, I have to say. Also, you know, Astana weren't jumping with that many guys today. They were missing moves. He got in that second group. It was no guarantee they'd get there. And he gets across, wins the stage. And yeah, Leknesund second, Sturven third, Valgren fourth, Mark Donovan fifth, Josh Kench sixth, Mikael Björk seventh, Busato eighth, Hulgaard ninth, Sevilla 10th. And nothing happened in the GC group. They all come in on 13 minutes, led by Bahrain. Josh Kent moves up into the top 20 on GC, and I'm going to get my pick in for tomorrow. Right now, Christian Scaroni.
Explain the stage first, Patrick.
No, because when I say this, then you'll steal the pick. Christian Scaroni's winning tomorrow. He loses.
I can steal the pick. We can select the same rider, but I don't think Scaroni's winning.
He lost an extra 6 minutes today because he knows he was in the Bernal. He was in purgatory. He was between 10th and 15th.
I'm going to counter you. He was in purgatory, but he was in the breakaway regardless and wasn't good enough in the breakaway.
Yeah, but it just would have made it harder to get in the break. If he was on 12th in GC tomorrow, I think Tudor and Harper, Q365 are going to protect Harper's top 10. I think he was smart to lose 6 minutes today, or he's sick. But
I think it's the day for everybody between P14 and P20 to try and jump into the top 10. Jan Hirtz, De La Cruz, Caruso, you know?
Yeah, well, I think Caruso was helping Eulalia, but...
Yeah, probably right. But the other two.
I think scoring losing time is smart. But yeah, today's stage was just a classic breakaway stage. Not much happened, and that's fine. Tomorrow's stage, something will happen from Aosta. I love Aosta. I love this valley.
Great race.
Giro d'Aosta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that where Del Toro had his first ever good result in Europe? We'll check that. 133.
Or was that Sibiu?
No, Aosta was before Sibiu, I think. Sibiu's in July. Aosta's tomorrow, 133 kilometers long, proper mountain stage. We've got one, finally. We start with the category 1, 16K, 6% climb. Huge day in the KOM fight too. We know Vingegaard's got a lead, but if the break wins tomorrow, whoever wins from the break can take it back mathematically, maybe, don't know. 15K, 6%. Descent, short valley of 10Ks. Then we start another section of climbing of about 15 kilometers. Then another descent, short valley, about 5Ks. And we have some French name. You know, this is on the border of France, more or less, or near there. A lot of people speak French in this valley. We have the Linois climb, 7.5Ks, 8%, quite hard, especially the last 2Ks. Very short false summit, and then it kicks up again to Verogna, 5.6Ks, 7%. That's up to about 1,600 meters. Then we have a 16-kilometer descent, a short valley, again a Red Bull kilometer in the middle of the climb, which, yeah, it's so pointless. But anyway, it's there. And well, how many Red Bull kilometers have been contested by the top 3 GC guys in
just yesterday?
2 weeks? No, but Eulalio, I mean,
maybe 2 in the Giro max. The Red Bull kilometer is a marketing gimmick, Patch. There's nothing else to it.
Put the marketing gimmick in a better place.
I agree.
Like ASO, credit to them, they put their 642 bony gates in good positions to generate action. Anyway, that's at the base of this climb. It's the Pilar climb. 17Ks, 7%, Cat 1, lots of KOM points, up to 1,800 meters. It's regular. There's a few Ks at 8%, 8.5%. There's some at 5, 5.5. It's pretty regular, and it's a classic mountain stage. It looks like the Isola stage from the Tour, does it not? Or the Cuyol stage?
Buddy, you said Scaroni, but you're going to have internal pain once I tell you my pick. Giulio Ciccone.
Yeah, I mean, Ciccone, of course, will be looking at this one big time. So
it's the one where he was the best climber on the previous mountain stage. The Scali Corno alle Scali thingy.
Yeah.
So on paper, if he's in the breakaway here, he will be the best climber in that breakaway. The question is, if the breakaway wins, it's not the longest stage to control, but on paper, I lean towards breakaway, but I think we both also had like a preview pick of Jonas for this stage, so we're hedging our bets between breakaway and peloton.
The one thing I will say, the difference between this and Isola and Cuyol, and I can't remember the mount. What was Super Bagneri looking like last year? Stage where Aronsman won. It's in the cold.
Oh.
Let me have a look. Yeah, that even also did that of the Tourmalet, and yeah, Aronsman won from the break, but they also had a flat start. I don't know where the break formed, but that helped a big boy like him get in the break. And then he won from the break, but I don't remember many stages like starting with a climb that long and hard. 16K, 6 and a bit % to start.
I like it.
It's really hard.
Break formation is going to be... These are the break formations where the strongest climbers can definitely make the breakaway. That's why I believe Ciccone should be able to make the breakaway without trouble tomorrow. Because what's Visma going to do? Like, he's in Narnia in GC. I don't see any team that's going to be able to hard pace behind Giulio Ciccone attacking on this climb. He can simply brute force his way into the breakaway here, you know?
Yeah, I think Ciccone and Scaroni are in the break with...
Unless we get a fringe GC rider that tries to jump into the breakaway, and then chaos kicks off, and then early break action by Ciccone, and those riders could be hampered a bit.
I see a lack of appetite for that. So let's run through the GC guys who are going to be the main players tomorrow. So Eulalio's 33 seconds ahead of Vingegaard. Vingegaard's then 90 seconds ahead of Aronsman. Goal is off the podium right now. He's on 230, but he's the second strongest climber in the race, perhaps.
So from that alone, Eulalio loses Spink tomorrow, and Goal, on paper, should get close to the podium, if not take the podium.
Exactly, but they're not going to... Aronsman, Goal, especially O'Connor on 250, Hindley 312. The race is too formed in the GC ranking. I don't think these guys are going to be jumping in the break. I don't see that appetite for that anymore, like on stage 5.
If Pellizzari and Hindley were both in good shape and weren't sick, etc., then I'd say, Red Bull can try and launch one of them into the breakaway.
Yeah, but then Pellizzari needs to go in the break and make life difficult for everyone else. But in break formation today, he was behind a split again. He didn't look right.
Piganzoli in the breakaway.
Oh, yay.
Visma doesn't need him.
Yeah, true. And I don't think Bahrain will like that very much.
But if Piganzoli wins from the breakaway, Patrick, and Jonas Vingegaard attacks in the peloton and has a mechanical, who's going to be there riding 5 seconds behind to give him a bicycle?
Egan Bernal?
I don't think Bernal... Well, depends on whether the rumors...
You're not allowed to do that, I don't think.
Nah, I think Port did that once.
Port did it, yeah.
And he got fined for it, for giving a wheel, I think, to a competitor.
I think he got a wheel from another Australian.
Oh, was it that way? I don't remember.
Wheel change, fine.
Someone got fined. One of the two. Maybe both. Simon
Clark gave his front wheel to Port.
Oh,
in the Giro 2015. I don't see appetite from O'Connor and Hindley, and they're the two guys that try to do this to go on the break. They're too far up in GC. I think they're already thinking like O'Connor's he's 5th, right? Let's say Eulalia collapses, then he's provisional 4th, and then he has one off the podium. I don't see them risking throwing away that, because you also risk throwing away your GC if you go crazy at the start.
On one end, I agree with you on the Caruso's going to stay by Eulalio's side, but
yes,
big brain. Eulalio loses pink anyway. Yes, he can still score a very good result at the end of the Giro. But I wouldn't mind seeing Caruso in the breakaway regardless of the situation.
No,
Bahrain doesn't need to control tomorrow.
They're
losing pink anyway.
It would be the perfect time to do it, because there would be that one stage where there's the changeover of control where you stop all of a sudden controlling the whole race. And then also Visma don't care about Caruso.
Exactly.
And then who's going to put these so then Ben Zwiehoff has to chase.
I think that's a strat. They won't do it.
They won't do it. They're honorable team.
Honorable. I don't give a fuck about honorable.
Yeah, also because they have no other climber in the team. So basically you have Eulalio isolated for 4 hours.
He doesn't need anyone. He can get his beat
we
on
know
himself.
They're not going to do it.
They won't do it. But it's a fun idea to think about.
So, yeah, I think Jan Hirt's in the break with Scaroni, Ciccone, and
Rondel, would he dare? Too close, maybe.
I don't think they will, because, I don't think he will. So, who do you like?
Who do I like? Ciccone.
I think Vingegaard wins from the GC group after Ineos control the stage.
You picked Scaroni already. Are you going to switch to Vingegaard now?
Yep. I think
Ineos
going to remember that I read that interview again today about like putting faith in Aronsman. I think they're going to control for him.
I don't like you picking Vingegaard because you're more likely to be right now than with Scaroni.
Yeah, I think Scaroni, I can't see how he beats Ciccone. So I also changed for that reason, that like Ciccone should win from the break if he's in it.
Is Ciccone or Jonas for me?
Yeah. And Eulalio is out of pink, we say, okay, but is he out of podium? Is he losing?
No.
You don't think he loses 2:30?
Whoa.
What did he lose on Blockhouse where he didn't ride optimally? He lost
3 minutes, right?
He lost 2:42 to Gull.
Whoa.
And to Aronsman, he lost a minute.
And the stage is much harder. But he could have lost maybe 2 minutes and 10 seconds to Gull if he paced it better.
It badly.
But it's also a much harder stage now in terms of, actually not sure about that because there's a lot of altitude meters in Blockhouse.
Yeah, but not like this.
Yeah.
I think they're going to, that's why I said Ineos, because you can rinse him tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell you whether he's on the podium or not. I hope he is. Personal hard choice.
I think he has to hope. He has to hope that Aronsman is climbing as well as Gull.
Eulalio has to hope that.
Yeah, because then if they're all both doing their TT separately up the mountain, then he's going to lose a lot of time. But if they're like getting into the games on Pal, where Gull and Lipovic decided they were just going to start playing games.
If they relay with each other on the climb away from Eulalio because they're both can go onto the podium, it's not good either, right?
I don't see them doing that. I've never seen Felix Gull in a cooperative group on a climb. Not always his fault. Not his fault either.
Yeah. O'Connor's having an underrated Giro, by the way.
I think
O'Connor has these like ups and downs in his career where 1 year he's GC rider, next year he's breakaway rider, 1 year he's GC rider, the back and forth in that. And once we pass that second year of the stage win, it becomes a disrespect towards O'Connor where we're like, not even going to mention him for GC rider vibe, you know?
I'm not going to do it. You're trying to bait me into doing my Australian spiel again.
What spiel? I don't know what you're talking about, Patrick.
Yeah. But by the way,
are you telling me that if O'Connor was Belgian,
if O'Connor was Italian, he'd have a whole team around him in yeah.
Are you telling me he doesn't have a whole team around him right now?
I am, because on stage 5, Combine went for a stage 7th place instead of chasing Eulalio. Yeah. There's 3 Australians in the top 7 and 4 in the top 10. So
But if your theory about Australians and the Kiwis were right, then wouldn't Josh Gaines be driving a forklift in a factory?
He was. He was. He was in China driving a forklift, and now Groupama, because their Kiwi scout gives them a fucking good rider once every year, they bring him in, and he's their best rider in this Giro.
Unironically, the oceanic scout of Groupama FDJ
he's keeping that team afloat. Best Belgian in GC's Victor Campenaerts on 15 minutes.
What are you trying to say?
That when you look at the U19 and U23 races, it's like Belgium is this and that, and then they get to the pros and things happen.
You've been to Belgium, right?
Yeah, you got small
Which
people too.
mountains above 1,000 altitude meters do you have?
Tall, and no, you have climbs like you have climbs as big as in Perth, and Perth right now has got 3 guys in the top 7. You got in I know you're saying in Flanders, but no, Benji, Wallonia is part of Belgium and has longer climbs.
Yeah, but you've got natural heat acclimation by living in Australia.
True. And how actually on that, you raise a good point. I
was trolling.
The Tour de France was uncharacteristically cool in the third week. Aronsman then was cooking on La Plana and Superbanniera. Tomorrow it's hot. It's hot now. My heart rate was jacked today. And yeah, I think maybe is Eulálio better in the heat?
He's Portuguese, so
I think it's actually a myth.
Assume yes.
It's a myth that riders are like, oh, you're from a hot country, you're good in the heat. Ben O'Connor is way better in the worst weather conditions. He's like better in bad conditions. Vingegaard's good in the heat.
Pedersen isn't.
True, Pedersen's
I
good
think
in
you're
the bad
more
weather.
likely to be better in your country's conditions, though. Look at UNOX.
Yeah, that's because the staff and
if
riders
it was snowing today,
let
Leknesund had won.
If it was snowing today, Bettiol wouldn't have gotten the break. I agree with you. So,
he would have DNS'd.
possibly.
By the way, Bettiol, his RVV was a one-trick pony.
His
Giro stage win was a one-trick pony.
He's won 9 pro races.
Then his other Giro stage was a one-trick pony. He's like, once a year he shows up with like extreme form. And then he retires for the year.
I mean,
I bet you after today, I don't expect to see him again.
He was horrific to start this year.
Yeah.
It's
fascinating.
I don't know why you're sending a Classics rider to the Alula Oman combo and then to Classic VAR and Tour de Zalmaritime. I mean, yeah, it's not the preparation I would have picked, but yeah, then
Kazakh diplomacy.
24, what do you do? I mean, he was third in Quebec last year. Maybe he's better in hot conditions. Could be. Maybe he's just not good in the spring. But yeah.
Like Tokyo.
Was he good in Tokyo?
On the Mikuni Pass, he was one of the strongest riders.
True, he was good then. Maybe he's just good in hot conditions. Maybe he should do TDU. But yeah,
he did TDO and then he had crams on the final hill, no?
Yeah, true. I don't know. I think some guys get paid a lot of money because they win some stuff early and then...
Yeah. That RVV victory was objectively the worst RVV I've ever watched in my entire life.
Why?
Nothing happened until the outer Quadramons. Bettiol attacked. Nobody responded because they probably couldn't. And nothing happened for the rest of the race. Is how I perceive that race from my memory.
Yeah.
Even in Gilbert's victory, Philippe Gilbert won RVV solely because Peter Sagan, Van Avermaet, and Oliver Naasten were taken out by a jacket. But at least something happened in the race, you know?
I don't think it was a fluke in the sense that, like he's also top 10 Flanders subsequently. He's been 5th at San Remo subsequently. Like,
yeah.
That's probably the frustration. I mean, remember, EF Education Easy Post let Bettiol walk halfway through his last year of his contract to Astana because, like, yeah, he is a really good classics rider on his day. But those days are too infrequent.
Wait.
That was a Virus Quickstep. That's a great quote.
That was a great quote.
Yeah.
Is it... I think I could be wrong, but I think I know this because of Bettiol, because Bettiol lived with Vincenzo Nibali for a bit for like training purposes. I think Vincenzo Nibali's dog is called Benji.
Really?
Yeah.
After you or not?
I don't think it's named after me. I've always been a fanatic Vincenzo Nibali fan, but the 2 times we've interacted with each other, the first time was during the Giro 2016, where I said he could still do it while he was in Narnia and GC, and he liked my tweet, and then he went on to win the Giro, so I'm taking credit for that. The second time we interacted was because he got angry at the Italian climber on Picnic that Gaffuri for a KOM or something.
Yeah.
And I called him out, and then he backtracked in my Twitter comment section. But hey,
yeah, I think
now we're friends again.
I think they don't like the Zwifters, and
I don't think he named his dog after me.
Fair enough. We've said we'd come back to it. So apparently the Tour de France has moved its start date up because of the Olympics is it next year? When's the Olympics?
Yes.
Are they? No, they're in
2028.
Is it? Wait.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's 2026.
2028.
Right.
So the Tour de France has said it's changed its dates because they announced the Grand Départ in Reims, is it?
Reims.
Where is that?
The northeast of France. Next to Epernay, the stage where Alaphilippe won?
Huh.
Is that correct?
So we're going to get a cobble stage or what?
We're definitely going to have punchy stage in Epernay, but I'm not sure about the cobble stage.
Okay. So the Giro was not too happy about that because it then affects their date. It maybe even makes it closer to the Tour de France and Giro. So it's already really difficult to get riders at the Giro because of the tight gap to prepare for the Tour. So Paolo Bellino wasn't too happy with that today. He said that, how is the Tour de France able to just announce its start date when the calendar hasn't even been approved by the UCI yet? I would say that's...
You know why?
It's a pretty good question.
Because ASO can do whatever they want because they have the power in this sport.
Yeah.
What is UCI going to do? Tell the biggest organization of the Tour de France, no, you can't do what you want? They did that 10 years ago, and ASO took their races outside of the UCI calendar until the UCI fell to their knees, and then they returned.
Yeah. So apparently the Giro, don't you think the Giro has to accept reality? Let's go a bit of geopolitics, Benji. Sometimes you see, like, it's not about right and wrong all the time if you want to actually get an outcome. Sometimes you have to accept what reality is and then get the best outcome possible. And if you fail to accept reality and keep proceeding on the basis that that reality doesn't exist, you just hurt yourself in the long term. And the reality is the Giro needs to change its date to get a better start list and a better weather slot.
But is that going to attract better viewership as a whole? Because we've had a few Vueltas where we felt like the viewership of the sport as a whole was a bit down. Compared to a Giro, where it's the first Grand Tour of the season, people usually tune in.
I know what you mean. In that, sometimes the Vuelta has better names, but half those names are coming off an injury or sickness or poor preparation because they crashed out of the Tour or it's just a last chance saloon. But I don't know, the Vuelta, I think it does have a higher level.
I think it's changed. 10, 15 years ago, in my head, it always felt like the Giro was seen as the second biggest Grand Tour, and then the Vuelta was the third biggest. Even though we saw the likes of Froome, Nibali, Valverde, Contador show up after contending the Tour de France, or after injuries during previous races. And Giro Tour Double was definitely not done much back in the day. Contador was one of the people that did it, if I recall, Froome as well. But towards the last 4 years, 3 years at least, Vuelta's at least on par in terms of popularity as a Giro from my perspective. But I don't think the viewership figures agree with that.
Yeah, like for the podcast, the Giro does better because people are more hyped for it.
Like, it's not been the best Giro in the world so far, but our viewership figures are better than last year, I think.
and I'm still enjoying it. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. So
And
what does that say?
it's also, let's be honest, we can watch paint dry for 6 hours in a cycling race and we didn't find something fun to talk about.
Yeah, but by the Vuelta, sometimes I'm like, whoa.
I think
Like-
I also reach a burnout state halfway to Vuelta, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And also, I'm scrolling quickly through PCS start list score, which isn't everything, but it's not that big a difference the last 5 years between the Giro and the Vuelta. So,
But so your whole argument is Giro should accept reality and move towards the slot of the Vuelta, and the Vuelta should move pre-tour, or what? Because the Vuelta was pre-tour back in the day.
The Vuelta and the Giro have to be 2-week races.
Okay. It's like you're getting the arm of our audience, and then you're the hand of our audience, and then you're taking their arm as well.
If the Giro was a 2-week race, the start list would be so much better.
I agree with you, but there's something. Maybe this is the traditionalist in me, Patrick. I think the sport would objectively be a better viewership and entertainment product
if today's stage
Giro
didn't
and Vuelta
exist.
Were shorter, and if today's stage didn't exist. But there is something, and I think it's not just traditionalists, about a 3-week Grand Tour having the day-to-day recovery towards the end. Although I feel like back in the day, in the Nibali years, you had riders that were clearly better than others in the third week of a Grand Tour. With Nibali, you knew that by the end of the Grand Tour, he'll be at his absolute best. While right now, I feel like
Why was that?
we don't have those differences anymore. Well, he was getting stomped on by Kruijswijk and Folly Forov on mountain time trials first, remember?
Yeah.
Why do you think that was, sir?
No, I actually do believe in recovery. I believe in like some guys, they can just cope with the day in, day out. Maybe it replicates their training better. And
less the case now, though. Maybe
nowadays,
Ciccone is an obvious one still.
I feel like me and you almost never say it. Like, how often do we say, oh, he can bide his time for the third week because he's... Aronsman's one of the only ones. Aronsman and G, I would say. I think they're like diesels who need a long time to get the engine running.
But even this year, this Giro, Aronsman didn't start off badly.
Exactly. Then Aronsman didn't lose time. Yeah, but Blockhouse, he was kind of shit, I think. Compared to, like, I expect him to do better on tomorrow than Blockhouse and then progressively better and better.
So what was our theory when it comes to the calendar again?
Oh, I still think, like, yeah, commercially, it's got to be better a viewing experience if it's a 2-week race because, yeah, there's some stuff. I can prune 5 stages out of this race for you. Don't worry. And you won't miss it.
I also think I can prune 3 or 4 stage races from the World Tour calendar as a whole.
Yep.
One of which would definitely be in Switzerland.
I think that it's happening to themselves organically, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see what happens. And 2028 is not that far away, which is also scary. But yeah, I think the Giro's had pretty good weather so far. It's looking good. We've got a heat wave in Europe. So I think the mountain stages, knock on wood, are looking pretty safe, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we don't have, I don't know, can someone please respond in the comments if you have photo images of the top of Passo João, the Cima Coppi? Is the snow there? Is it melting? What's the situation? That'd be good to know, but I think we should be all right.
I think we should be all right. There's also these like live stream cameras now online where you can watch it.
Yeah, I'm not going to find that. So they can do that.
Dedication.
A little bit of homework. A little bit of homework for everybody. Okay, thanks for listening as always. We'll see you with the with the recap of the first proper mountain stage tomorrow. I'm really, really excited. I would suggest if you're going to tune in Saturday morning and want to watch a full stage, it's one of those to do so. Okay, till then, ciao, ciao.